Alright, what's going on, guys? So this is just going to be like a review video or like a reaction video. If you've seen those on like YouTube, they're kind of getting popular. It's kind of becoming a little bit of a trend. So it's going to be that kind of format. I'm just going to be reviewing Jalen's video for this week. Since Jalen, you just happen to be the first person to submit it. Josh, I can make a video like this for you as well. Both will be posted in our broadcast team Slack. Just so we can all like learn from the same notes. And so I think this will be a good learning session that we can have every week, if it doesn't take too much time, until we do get to this like ultimate goal. We're here to improve each other as journalists, sports broadcasters, and sports personalities, right? And so that's the idea of this. Instead of taking you guys' time when you come out to the field to gather your B-roll, your stand-ups and all that, we can do videos like this in the meantime while we're still learning the ropes a little bit. So that way you guys can maximize your time out at the field to actually gather your work. That being said, I'm just going to watch this video. We'll play through each segment of it, and then we'll review, talk about like what I see, the good things, and then we're gonna really get into we're really gonna focus on the things that can improve, because this broadcast media side of the organization, this is really me and Dante's like baby. He and I have both been working on this for years, to get it to like a certain point. And yeah, we're a 4th division team, but we really like to be as professional as possible. So we really want to up this, like our broadcast production quality, our media news like segment content production quality, to a certain level that's comparable to a USL team, an MLS team, NFL, NBA, you name it. We want this to be top quality. We want to keep building as young journalists. We want to keep building and learning. And so that's basically what I'm going to go after. I'm not trying to tear you guys down or anything like that in these videos, where these are just coaching points. So we're getting right into it now.
What was formerly known as the Trident Cup will now be known as the Beach Premier Cup. It will take place from August 14th through 15th in Virginia Beach, and will be hosted by our very own Virginia Beach City FC Youth Academy. This tournament will feature over 60 teams across the state of Virginia, and all the boys and girls will be looking to showcase their talents this August.
So, alright, so that was a great stand-up. You had a great read. You explained exactly what the story is going to be about, and then more about what the tournament is. And then we're about to get into the voiceover, and then I can talk a little bit more about that, but I think some stuff should have been switched around. Some stuff should have been in the voiceover, some other stuff should have been in the stand-up. But it also was done well. This is just me a little nitpicking there. And as far as the rest of the stand-up, things that we can work on, we're MMJs out here. We are multimedia journalists. We're doing the video and the stand-up and the reporting and all that stuff all on our own. This is a little nitpicky, but like you're a little off-center here. You're a little off-center, and that's going to happen when we're MMJs. But if we can double-check before we start recording, I mean, that's just going to elevate the professional level of this. How close you are from the screen. Let's start with that. Honestly, I think your cutoff, where you should be standing in the video, your sleeves, the bottom of your sleeves should be right where the bottom of the video is, and then your headroom, you have a little bit of a headroom issue here too. That can be fixed by making that simple change. So stand up a little bit closer to that camera. It also looks like you're looking down towards the camera, so I don't remember like what your tripod is like or how you do your stand-ups, but if you can get your camera, your lens level, like eye level, that's gonna give you the best look to your stand-up. You forgot your lower third, so you honestly want to stamp your name on this every single time, for you professionally, and then also for the audience, so they know who is giving them the news. They should, and then specifically your title, so they want to know what your credentials are. Like, why should they listen to you, this person on their screen, telling them about this? new information. So yeah, make sure we're always getting our lower thirds in there. More on lower thirds coming up.
Beach Premier Cup is the first major tournament event of the summer for the Youth Academy. All the kids are working hard preparing for it. I was able to speak with Mitchell Pitts, who's the regional sports director, to get more information on this tournament.
So, as far as like the information in your voiceover, I mean, honestly, it could be done. This is like could be perfect. Like, I mean, I'm just a little nitpicking here for the fact that just style-wise, I prefer that you kind of throw in that you would throw in who you were interviewing in your stand-up and then jump straight to that person speaking, and then throw in some voiceover, cut up their interview. Throw in your voiceover, cut up their interview, and go from there. You did only get one interview for this, which is fine, but try to get two. I don't know if Brandon was not there, or if he was unavailable, or if he passed the responsibilities off to Mitch, which I'm sure is what happened. And ask a player if they want to be interviewed, and then since they seem to be a little younger, ask their parents if they're okay with that. Yeah, man, so we'll just get that out of the way now. It's the audio quality. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I don't know if it's the program that you're working on or if it's the mic. If it's the mic, we can certainly lend you the broadcast mic, one of the Yetis, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. If it's the program, I would look into whatever you're editing in, whatever program you're editing in, and see if you can record your voiceover right into that program. Or your third option, you could cheat it like I do. If I know I'm going to be doing a voiceover, I just record it. After I finish my stand-up, I just record it as if it were a stand-up. I can read it. I just read it straight off my phone, to be honest with you. And so it sounds like I'm continuing to do the stand-up, but I'm actually reading it. If I'm in post and I realize I need to do a stand-up, like I'm missing information in my video, I forgot to cover something while I was out there, I'll literally take my camera out to my car, put it in my center console, and speak at the camera, at the mic. I'm not too close to it because I don't want my audio to be too loud or anything like that, but I'll read my stand-up into the camera from my car. And what that does cancels out the echo, that echoey noise that we kind of get when we're recording in a big room. And so that's kind of how I do that. I originally, but mainly going back to my stand-up video version, I do that because my camera doesn't have a space for me to put a separate mic into it. And so my camera picks up, my videos typically have like background noise. You hear people talking, balls being kicked in the background. And so that just kind of gives that consistency that I look for in my videos. So I know there's no way around that for me personally, and so what I do is I just play it off. I play it off as if it's meant to be there. So, continuing on now.
So the Beach Premier Cup, it's August 14th and 15th. It's a youth soccer tournament for up and down the East Coast. It's held in Virginia Beach at the Princess Anne Sports Complex. We're expected to have over 60 teams. It's going to be a huge event, and it should be a lot of fun for all the kids and a great exposure opportunity to those that want to grow in their soccer career.
Okay, so that was a great soundbite from Mitch there that you got. He explained a little more about like what's so important about this tournament for our club and for the players competing in it specifically. So that was a good soundbite. Again, I would try to get a second interview if at all possible, or get or get him to elaborate on some other things that from his original soundbite. His lower thirds. So coming back to the lower thirds. I believe I was already explaining that the media side is me and Dante's baby. So what we want is to kind of like get this like production level a little bit higher than what it has been this season. So that's going to include being more consistent with the type of graphics that we use. So if you guys, this is what I need to know what you guys edit on. I edit on Adobe Premiere. I was originally using this one graphic, lower third graphic, but I looked and found a free one that I downloaded, and so I just like that one better, and so that's what I moved to this season. If it's at all possible, let's try to get us all using that same graphic, and I can give you the color codes I use for it and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's for lower thirds. We can discuss more about that if that's all feasible. And then lastly, man, Mitch's framing. You've got the rule of thirds down. Like, he's at the right part of the screen, but he needs to be zoomed in a little more. So maybe, like, and more so than I was explaining about with you, you kind of, I think for Mitch here, it would have been a good spot just right above at the end of the logo and up should be where he is at on the screen, and then you kind of want him to be looking across, right? So this is where you stand on the other side of the camera, you stand next to the camera, and I typically start my interviews saying, you know, you and I are just gonna have a conversation. You can pretend like this camera's not here. Everything that you're gonna tell me, like all your answers to all my questions, you can freely express them to me. Don't worry about the camera. And typically, I don't have people look at the camera when I really make sure that I set that forward, because that's just, you know, I was never explained why interviews are done this way. Only interviews over Skype, Zoom, and stuff like that are the interviewee framed dead in the middle, looking into the camera. But for whatever reason, traditionally, these news stories are always done with the interviewee looking across camera, rule of thirds, headroom, all that I just explained there. You know, after the first 5 minutes of him talking, or 5 seconds of him talking in his interview, we should be cutting into B-roll. This just keeps the viewer more engaged and keeps their attention on the story. It gets a little boring and redundant just watching Mitch on the screen the whole time. You kind of lose focus as he goes on. So yeah, B-roll on top of interviews after like the first 5 seconds. Then they would be off OTS, off on the screen, and so would the lower third at that point once you start throwing in your B-roll. Now getting into the SIG out.
Forward to see the Academy kids in action as the Beach Premier Cup inches closer and closer. In Virginia Beach, I'm Jalen Hanna, Virginia Beach City.
All right, and so that was a good way to wrap up your whole story and bring it back together at the end. Just, you know, we're excited to see the kids back in action at the Trident Cup. You may be in Virginia Beach when you're recording your voiceover, but to the viewer, you're in Norfolk, right? You did your stand-up at Norfolk Collegiate. You're showing B-roll right there at Norfolk Collegiate. You should be reporting from Norfolk. I'm Jalen Hanna, Virginia Beach City FC. We want to be sure that we're also saying the club's name correctly as well when we close out. So again, thanks Jalen for your video and your time and effort that you put into this. I think maybe some points for reference if we continue this series for the what is it now, the Premier Cup. What is the story behind the rebrand? Why is the tournament being rebranded? If I'm a parent of a youth academy player, maybe that's something I'm wondering. Did we get specific dates for when this tournament's happening? This is all stuff that we can cover in a future video, but those are some key points that people could be thinking of at the end of this. So again, thank you for your time that you put into this, and thank you for being my guinea pig with this. Josh, we're gonna do one for you, just to be fair. I know I put Jalen under the microscope tonight, but no, I think this is good. This kind of like review will be good to like help all of us learn as young journalists, sports broadcasters, and sports personalities going forward. we're all here to kind of learn. This is a 4th division team, just like the players that play here, the academy kids. We're all looking to take a next step. So this is our like stomping ground, so where we can kind of like learn and make our mistakes. But the key part is to learn. And so again, thank you one more time, and do this again with Josh probably Saturday or Sunday. Sorry. Thank you.